So today we will go with ratios and proportion first of all. Okay, we will do some problem there. Okay, today we will have only 1 hour of class. Okay, we will understand the theory behind this first of all, very simple one, and we will do some problems, around 5 to 6 problems we will do, which has already appeared in GATE. And after that, what we will do is we will go with vocabulary building, which we had done last time. We will build it up. Plus some divisibility in terms of numbers. We will do a bit of number theory. Okay, so that is what I have installed today for 1 hour. Okay, so we will see how a number can be told in terms of different ratios and all those things. Everything we will see. See, one thing we will find it very simple is that this is all 10th standard mathematics. Okay, aptitude and English in GATE is 10th standard level. Okay, so actually you are much better than that. Any time given, okay, a student who is doing his engineering will be able to get at least 10 out of 15 marks, because 15 marks comes for GATE, is it not? 15 marks is aptitude and English. If a person is good in his analytical this one, he can easily score 10 provided he manages his pressure. Okay, now the aptitude class what I take is to take this number from 10 to around 13. So there is an addition of 3 plus marks. Okay, because you are doing in a systematic manner. Okay, that is the only advantage you will have. So my aptitude class may give you an addition of around 3 marks. Okay, not more than that. Okay, and probably 5 marks if you are all right, everything is right, but that is very rare. Okay, that everything becomes right. There is chances that something will go wrong. Okay, because pressure is there. Okay, so let us start. Okay, so initially if you consider ratios, okay, 465, just a second students, let me open that. 465. Okay, things are very simple. Okay, when you say ratio, okay, when you consider ratio, first thing is that if A by B is equal to C by D, in case A by B is equal to C by D, then we should know that B by A should be equal to D by C. Okay, simple and straight. Okay, another things you can have is, we can have, since we have A by B is equal to B by, if I say C by D, okay, this is correct. Okay, so this is one side, first one. This is called invertendo. Invertendo, that means I can invert, that's it. Okay, we are using fancy Latin words, that's it. Okay, then another one, alternando. Okay, this is fancy ones. Okay, so here A by B is equal to D by C we have, this is inverted. Another thing is alternate, means I can say A by C is equal to B by D. You see, this has taken this side, this is taken that side. Okay, that's it. Another thing, componendo. Componendo means, okay, we have A by B is equal to C by D. I can have this as A plus B. You see, I am adding plus B. A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. Another point. Okay, another second. Okay, another thing is that dividendo. Dividendo is like this. Okay, dividendo goes as A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. I hope you get this. I have added only plus 1 here, plus 1 here, and that's how I have got this. Okay, here I have done minus 1, that's it. Then fifth one is componendo dividendo. This combined together, I can write, I am actually dividing one by the other. So I can write A plus B divided by A minus B is equal to C plus D divided by C minus D. That's it. Okay, this is one thing we have to understand. All the other things is easy, you can do it. Okay, so I hope you have written this down, students. You know this. Okay, next part. Okay, one more point is, this is actually, see, I have told you my classes is GATE plus some IES, not all IES. So there are cases where in, especially in our IES, that you are not given the your calculator, is it not? So when calculators are not there, in some of the cases also you don't have calculators. So one of the things you might have to see is divisibility, okay, which you know already, students. This is not something which I am introducing you very differently. Let us see divisibility. Divisibility by various numbers, divisibility of various numbers. I hope you know divisibility by 2, right? I don't have to tell you. What is divisibility by 3? It means all the 3 numbers has to be added, it should be divisible by 3. What is divisibility by 4? If divisible by if last 2 digits are divisible by 2, divisible by 4, then it is a divisible. If last 2 digits, this may be helpful for CAT also, or some of the other things, okay, or even GRE sometimes, okay. If last 2 digits are divisible by 4. Fine. Divisible by 5, I don't have to tell you, is it not, students? You can do it, okay. Fine. Divisibility by 6. A number is divisible by 6 if divisible by 3 and 2. That's it. If it is divisible by 3 and 2, then it is divisible by 6. Then divisibility by 7. How do you say that? What we have to do here is, see, if a number is there, okay, the tens, you know, okay, so what you have to do, you have to multiply the units by 2 and add or subtract this number, from number of tens, okay, number of tens, and if that number is divisible by 7, then it is divisible by 7. For example, let us take one example, okay. One example is like this, okay. If I take 385, whether 385 is divisible by 7, to see that, what we have to write is, we have to say 38 and 5 into, number of tens is 38 tens are there, units you have to multiply by 10, you subtract this, so it is 28. 28 is divisible by 7, so your 385 is divisible by 7, so 385 is divisible by 7. Simple, okay. Another point, let us take an example of 73899, whether this is divisible. What we have to do is, first let us take, so this is the first number, first column. Second column, we will have say the 9, the units, okay. Second column is units multiplied by 2, which is 18, correct. Third column, we will write the tens. What is that? 7389, correct. And the fourth column, we will write this 3 minus 2. Fourth is 3 minus 2. Now when you do that, you will get 7371, students, okay. Next, this 7371 can come here, 7371, because we don't know 7371 whether it is divisible by 7 or not. So 7371. So here 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, correct. So 1's multiplied by 2, okay, and here it is 737, and here you will get 735, correct, students. And then 735 you bring it here, 5, 10, 73 minus 5, 63. 63 is divisible by 7, so 73899 is divisible by 7. Simple. Next case, divisibility by 8, Okay, next case is divisibility by 8. I'm going fast, students, because you know this. Okay, last 3 digits must be divisible by 8, then it is divisible by 8. Simple. Divisibility by 9, the number, the sum of digits must be divisible by 9. Simple. Okay. Next question. I hope you got this, students. Next, 10 is done, understood. What is divisibility by 11? Divisibility by 11. How do you do that? The difference between the sum of the digits in the odd places and the sum of the digits in the even places must be divisible by 11. That's it. Or 0. One of the two. You can take any example, students. Let us take one example. Okay. I will do it. I will give you an example. Just a second. Okay. So if I have, say for example, okay, 6 example is 6, 4, 8, 5, 2, 7. Whether it is divisible by 11 or not. So what we will do, we will add up all the odd numbers. 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. Okay, and here 2 plus 8 is 10, 16. So when you subtract both, you will get 0, divisible by 11. Okay, so like that. That's how you do it. Okay, so it is here 4 plus 5 plus 7 minus 6 plus 8 plus 2, and that is 0. So that is why this is divisible by 11. Easy, students. Tell me if I am going fast. I am purposefully going fast, okay, because they are simple ones. You did not get it, stop me. Okay, fine. Divisibility by 12, divisible by 6 and 2 is divisible by 12. Okay, divisibility by 13, by 13. Okay, what has to happen is, if I say 50661, whether it is divisible by 13 or not, what should I do is, I should take the tens and add 4 times the ones, and whatever the number you get, you put it here, 5070. Okay, this 5070, you take 507 plus, here we have 0, so 0 into 4, so I am getting 507 here. Okay, next 50 plus, here 7 into 4, so the answer what you are getting here is 50 into 7 plus 7 fours are 28, so 28 plus this is 78. Is 78 divisible by 13, students? Yes, is it not? 78 is divisible by 13, is it not? Correct. So since 78 is divisible by 13, 78 divided by 13, 6, is it not? So this is divisible by 13, so this particular thing is divisible by 13. That's it. Okay, so like that you can take. Next, 14, 15, 16, you can do it. Okay, next is divisibility by 17. If you take divisibility by 17, how do you do that? Let us take an example. 9, 6, 8, 6, 6. Okay, what you take the tens. 9686, and then the units you multiply by 5. Okay, so the answer you get here is 9656. Okay, similar way, whatever is remaining 965, you put 965 minus 6 into 5. Okay, that gives you 935. Okay, then what you have, 93 minus 5 into 5. Okay, this gives you 68, which is divisible by 70. That's okay. So that is why this is divisible by 70. So this has to be divisible by 17. This has to be divisible by 13. Hence this is divisible by 13. Easy, students? Clear? Any doubts here? Have you understood? I hope I am not rushing.
No, sir.
No, right? Fine. Next. One more thing, then we will have 19, then we will go with other things. Okay. So let us put a new slide here. Fine. Last one is divisible by 19. These are very handy, students, a lot of places. Even your campus selection, these can be useful. Okay, when you give your campus selection, okay, there might be questions related to aptitude. Aptitude is important everywhere. Okay, and this training, what is there, encompasses everything. I have told you that you can ask me any questions which is related to aptitude, English, technical, all these three. Okay, if I know, I will tell you then and there. If I don't know, I will try to get and I will tell you. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, and your questions will improve my class. Okay, fine. So let us take. Now let us take an example. Let us take 8, 8, 5, 3, 4, 3. Okay. Now what has to be done is the units has to be multiplied by, this is the number. Second one is units multiplied by 2. This is tens. Okay, and you can say the new number. Okay, that new number will go here. Now units multiplied by 2 is 6. Okay, tens is 8, 8, 5, 3, 4. Okay, now what has to happen is here from this we have to add up, that is new number is tens plus units multiplied by 2. You have to do a plus here, that's it. So this would be 8, 8, 5, 4, 0. Simple. Now what, the new number will come down here, 8, 8, 5, 4, 0. Now 0 is the units, you put right here. Tens is 8, 8, 5, 4, and this will be 8, 8, 5, 4. Next, you put 8, 8, 5, 4 here. Okay, and this would be 4 into 2, which is 8. Okay, and 8, 8, 5 will come here. Okay, so you take 8, 8, I'm sorry, I think I made a mistake here. 8, 8, 5, 4. Yes, so 8, 8, 5. 8, 8, 5 plus 8. Correct, it's correct. 8, 9, 4. Correct. Next, you write 89 here, then 4, 8. So you have, sorry, 894 here. So this is 89 here. So 8 plus 9 is 95, which is divisible by 19. So that is why this is divisible by 19. This is divisible by 19. Hence the number is divisible by 19. Easy, student. These are the various ways to how to find the divisibility. Don't forget this. Very important, very simple. Okay, in the class, in the aptitude class, we are doing 10th standard mathematics, 10th standard English. Okay, if you ask me, sir, do you know everything about 10th standard mathematics and 10th standard English? I'm sorry, I don't know everything. I'm also learning till now. Okay, not I passed my 10th standard, but still not everything I know. Okay, I remember. Okay, yes. Now let us do a problem. Okay, I hope you can see the question, students. It's not
Yes, sir.
yes, fine. So here there are two candidates, P and Q, in an election. During the campaign, 40% of the voters promised to vote for P and the rest for Q. However, on the day of the election, as usual, 15% of the voters went back on their promise to vote for P and instead voted for Q. And 25% of the voters went back on their promise to vote for Q and instead voted for P. There is no nota here. There is no case of nota. Okay. So suppose P lost by 2 votes, then what is the total number of voters? This has come in GATE, students. All these are GATE problems. Okay. I don't remember which GATE, but it has come. I have taken this from GATE question paper. I leave it to you. First you have to solve. If you cannot solve it, then I will solve it, obviously. My classes are practice classes also. You don't have to go outside and do practice separately a lot of times. Okay, but you have to do it if you want to score very high ranks. Okay, without practice there's nothing happens. Only 10% is classes. Okay, 90% is your effort, students. Today we have got good results from our students this time, but let me tell you, in that my contribution is only 10%. 90% of the contribution is made by the students, anywhere, any institution. Okay, see, almost everywhere in any institutions, the difference in the teaching level, all the good institutions might be 19-20, that is a bit difference, not much. Okay, but what makes the difference is your efforts. Your efforts makes the difference. Okay, otherwise everybody who attends coaching, in the coaching classes, there are, in mechanical only there might be 50,000 people who will attend coaching classes. Okay, all over India. So 50 to 60,000 people will give coaching. Okay, so everybody should clear, is it not? But it doesn't happen. So your efforts matters, your capability matters. What happens, what we give is the base. Without this base, without this coaching base, it is difficult to clear. On what basis I am telling this? Because I can say 99% of the people who get top 1000 rank, 1% I am putting with a lot of caution. Okay, it is much less than that. Okay, so it's much more than 99%. Okay, will 99% means almost 10. Okay, almost 10 people will say, who have not attempted any type of coaching institute, has not taken any help from any coaching institute, there might be only 10 people maximum. Okay, who are in the top 1000. Okay, so that is the base. So this teaching is the base. Then comes your concepts, conceptual understanding. Okay, conceptual. So this is 10%. Okay, then what you understand is around, say, 30%. Okay, 30% mark. So if you attend all the teaching, you attend teaching and you get a conceptual understanding, then you can score 40 out of 100 students. You can score 40 out of 100 with good concepts. Okay, but afterwards, okay, then comes, after 40%, rest 20%, okay, is about skill, problem solving skill. This is problem solving skill. This is, yeah, this here I read, problem solving skills. How good you are in solving some problems or puzzles, that 20% is goal here. So it is 10 plus 20 plus, so it is around 60. So who has problem solving skills, conceptual understanding, everything, will score 60 out of 100. Okay, then comes, after that comes pressure handling. Next 20%, or you can say yes, 20% comes as pressure handling. If a person can handle pressure and emotions, pressure handling, you need to handle your emotions and pressures. That is very important. Handling, L-I-N-G. Okay, if you can handle pressure, then it's 20%. Okay, so the person can come with 80 out of 100. Okay, after that it is genius. Genius is 20%. A person may be a good, he's a great, he's good, really good. Okay, so such kind of genius type of people only will score more than 80%. Okay, in that particular thing. Okay, genius means not everywhere, it's on the GATE, that mechanical engineering knowledge. He knows how to handle pressure, he has practiced, he has put that extra bit, then only he can go more than Okay, this is there. So almost more than 80, there will be around in mechanical engineering this time there are around say 350 to 400 people who have gone more than 80. That's it. Okay, so if you score more than 80, you may be getting around 350 to 400 rank. Okay, more than 350 to 400 rank. Okay, so only this much people will go more than 80 out of around 1.5 lakh people who write GATE. Okay, so you see how difficult it is. Okay. Yes, students, got the answer? So for conceptual understanding, till here, okay, teaching material, textbooks helps here. Okay, without, see, this is the foundation. If this teaching is gone, then all these things collapses. Okay, if there's a good, not a good teacher, your concepts, problem solving, everything collapses. Let me tell you, it's not easy. Okay, this is the foundation. Conceptual understanding, textbooks, and writing it again, thinking. Okay, that is important. Problem solving skills, problem solving all the previous year's problems. Okay, so this is solve previous year's problem. Solve previous years. This conceptual understanding, textbooks, as well as whatever the notes has been given, that has to be recapitulated. Then you can get the conception. Okay. Pressure handling, mock tests. If you want to manage pressure handling, you have to give mock tests. Genius, you cannot say anything about that. Okay. Yes. That's how it goes. Attend all the classes, very important. Some classes might not be that good students. I am not a genius. I am not in this that top 20% where I am a genius. So there might be classes which will go a bit bland. There might be some classes which are very interesting. Okay, so but attend classes, attend all the classes irrespective of blind classes. But if there is a blind classes, give me a feedback. Okay, other than obvious feedback, like if in case I know that my what you say. My facial expression will show you that I also know that I did not go do the class well. Okay, so other than that, if I think that I have done the class well and you think I have not done it well, then please tell me. Okay. Yes. Everybody understands facial expressions, right? Intuitively. Yes, students. What is the answer? Did you get it? Come on. Why are you taking so much of time? How many of you got the answer? I will not solve this problem for you. I will solve obviously, but I'll take some time. I'll give you time to solve. Around 5 problems we will solve. Today I am all in PR. Happy that Akshay has scored so many ranks, because this pandemic we were back. Okay, so it had hit us very strong. Yes, students, why are you struggling here? How many of you got the answer? How many of you think you cannot solve it? Does anybody think you cannot solve it? Come on. What's happening? People are there. Let me see where the students are there. Yes, they are there. Sharon. Sharon went off. Yeah, Divya. What's the answer?
Yes, sir. Trying.
Solving, please. Ishan, got the answer? Ishan, what is the answer?
सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ सर.
हाँ, करो करो करो. कर पा रहे हो ना?
यस सर.
हाँ, करो जल्दी से. Sharan is back?
Yes sir.
Yes. Did you solve the problem? Got the answer?
No sir, not yet.
Please, please do it. Let me give a hint. Okay. So what happens if this kind of questions are there? Because if once you put your efforts, you will know what is the mistakes there. So you will know easy methods you can understand. Okay. So now first of all, P and Q are in election. During a campaign, 40% voters promised to vote for P. So I'll say total number of voters is T. And how many voted? How many are voting for P? 0.4. Correct. 40% voted for P and rest for Q. Let us keep P here. Okay. And then, however, on the day of election, 15% of the voters went back on their promise to vote for P. Among what? Among the promised. So what happens? Minus here for the P, I will rub this off, students. That would be better. Okay. No, I cannot rub it off because I've gone back. Okay. So let me do it here. Okay. P is P here, Q here. I can say. For Q, what is it? 0.6 of the total people. Okay, has gone. Okay, and 15% of the voter went back to promise, went back on their promise to vote for P and instead voted for Q. So what happens? Went back on the promise to vote for P means 0.15% of 0.4 of T went back. But what they voted for Q, that is 0.15 into 0.4 T. They voted for Q, so added. Okay, and then 25% of the voters went back on their promise to vote for Q. That means you will have 0.25 into 0.6 T, correct? And here they added, instead they came for this particular person, 0.60. That's it. Now that is, if you consider this, now what happens? P lost by 2 votes. That means the total votes which was taken by P was 2 times that of Q. So let me say this is equal to P and this is equal to Q. So P minus Q was equal to 2. That's it. solving two simultaneous equations, finding total voters. That's how you do it, students. Comes intuitively, doesn't come just like that. Okay, you have to do practice. A lot of practice has to be done. Okay, especially that's why what happens in the campus selection, when aptitude questions are there, you'll not be able to clear, because this kind of practice has to be there a lot. Okay, yes, students, I will give you that practice, don't worry. We will do again and again. It's like coaching. It's not lectures. It's coaching, is it not, students? Yeah, tell me what is the answer you get, students, by solving. Have you understood how to do this, students? Once I tell, it's easy, okay, but you have to get that problem solving skill, which takes you from 40 to 60. Okay. And in this also you have to multiply by your efficiency. Okay. Yeah. So you are mechanical engineers, most of them. Okay. Only one person here is civil engineers. You know how to multiply efficiency for anything, is it not? So increase your efficiency. That's it. Yeah.
100, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Done? 100. Correct. Very correct. Super. The answer is 100, students. That's it. Simple. Okay, we'll go for the next one. Next one goes like this. The total number of students in 3 classes are in the ratio of 3:13:8. If 18 students are added to each class, the ratio changes to 15:35:21. The total number of students in all the 3 classes in the beginning was. I will not give you any hints initially because it's easy. Okay, you can do it. All are great questions, students. If it is less than 5, then it is 1 mark question. This was 1 mark question. This was 2 marks question. More than 5 is 2 marks question. Let me see the time. So you should be able, 2 marks question, you should be able to solve within 4 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes, students. Now it is 8, 7. I will come with 8, 12. We'll stop. We'll see that. Students, kindly tell to your friends also about my GATE coaching. Okay, recommend it if you liked it. Tomorrow we will have 4 hours of classes. Okay. Yeah, students. 5 minutes up. So anybody saying that, sir, give me 1 minute, I'll be solving this. This has to come like this only, student. There's no other way. Okay. So let us do it. Okay. So the ratio is 3:13:6. Correct. So now here in this case I can say 3 by total number. What is the total number here? 3 plus 13 plus 6. It is 22. Correct. So 3 plus I can say 3 by 22 t, that is the total number. Okay, 3 by 22 total number. Now this ratio will be equal to, I can say 3 by 3t by 22 plus, okay, this is one side. Okay, now the same thing, this t, this ratio will be equal to, here 15 plus 35 plus 21 is what? 71, students. Okay, so this would be 15 by 71 into t plus 3 into 18. Why? Because here observe, the class A, if you have, we have class A, B, C. If I say this is A, B and C, this class A will have 13 by 22 of the total number. Now the total number in each class is increased by 18, students. So since it is 18, increased by 18 in each class, everywhere it has to be increased by 3 into 18. But here also, I'm sorry, here one more thing, here also I have to add this by 8. Correct? So initial number, whatever was it, 3t plus 22. 3t by 22 plus number 8 being added, I should get this number as t plus 3 into 18. Now when you solve this question, students, you will get, sorry, 18, not 8, 18, okay, 18 here. When you solve this equation, this one equation is enough. When you solve this equation, we get t as 88. Check it out, students. Simple, one step answer. But you have to understand that you have to add these up. This is what happened once in GATE coaching, my second time. Okay, we had an app. Okay, in that app we used to have all the previous year's questions being solved, and they used to go with the mobile and they used to check the answers. Okay, so in the class what I should do, I'll ask students to come with a mobile. So I will say solve this question, this GATE this question. So they go to the app and they will say this GATE this question. They have the question in their mind, in their mobile. Okay, they have to go and write the answer by themselves. But in that app there was solution also. So they used to go with the solution there. Okay, and 2 minutes they will try it. If they cannot, they will go with the solution and they will check it. Okay. So in the class I found out there was a great thing that everybody was answering the question. Okay. Next I gave a mock test. Mock test everybody flunk. In the class everybody is an expert. In the mock test everybody is flunking. Okay. Why the case is because the students were not putting efforts by themselves. One problem, they will go for the clue and then they will solve it. Answer is there, they have understood. And this is one of the things what happens when you read from the solved textbooks. Some of the GATE coaching institutes give you solved old question papers. When you read that solutions, you will know all the solutions of previous year's question papers. But a new mock test is given, gone, flunked. Okay. So you should develop capability, students. Okay. So that is why going for unknown question, that problem solving skills, which gives you 20% marks. Okay. And pressure handling, which is based on problem solving skills and conceptual understanding also. Okay. Fine, students. Let us solve this question. The number of hens, ducks and goats in a farm are 65, 91 and 169 respectively. The total number of hens, ducks and goats in a nearby farm Q is 416. The ratio of hens, ducks and goats in the farm Q is 5:4:13. All the hens, ducks and goats are sent from farm Q to farm P. Okay. The new ratio of hens, ducks and goats in the farm P is dash. Yes, students. And the 5 minutes I'll give. Let us continue a bit more. Is that okay, students? We will go till 9 o'clock. Is there any trouble for anybody?
No.
No problem, is it not? Then we will stop the class. Okay. So in the aptitude class and English class, we will get similar type of questions at once, whatever has come in GATE. Okay. Yes. Find the answer, students. This is easy, direct. No, students? So what should happen? The number of hens, ducks and goats in farm Q. You can say it is 65 plus 91 plus 169. This is the total in farm P, is it not? So this comes as 325. Correct? This is hens, ducks and goats. In the farm Q, the total number of ducks, goats and this one number, it's not the number, ratio is given. So ratio is 5 divided by the total here, 5 plus 14 plus 13. 5 plus 14 plus 13 is 32, students. Okay, so 32, correct? So 5 by 5 by 32 of the total number. Okay, 5 by 32 and this is 14 by 32 and this is 13 by 32. Okay, into, if you say the total number of animals which are there, that will give us 416, and the total is given as 416. So it's easy, is it not? So you say 5 into 32 and 416, 4 into 32, 416, 13 into 32 and 416. So you will get the number of hens, ducks and goats. You have to find the number of hens, new ratio, we have to find out the ratio, that's it. It's direct, students. So you multiply this by 416, you multiply this by 416, you multiply this by 416, and then you add this with this. This comes as 65, students. This comes as 273 and this comes as 338. So it's important that you do it fast, that's it. Okay, so this comes as 130, this comes as 273, sorry, this comes as not 273, this comes as 182, I'm sorry, this comes as 182 and this comes as 338. The total P plus Q, this plus this, is equal to 130, 273 and 338. Okay, now you divide, sorry, yeah, not 330, this is 169, I'm sorry, student, this is 169. So you divide by the total is 130 plus 273 plus 338. So that comes to be 741. Okay, so when you do this here, one of the things what happens is, what is the ratio? It should be 130 by 741, 273 by 741, 338 by 741. This is one way of doing. Otherwise you cut this off. Okay, say here one of the things is that, see what is the by what it is divisible. Okay, now if you see it is divisible by, or you can see here in the answer options, you can see which is the near about ratio, about 130, 273 and 338. What is the near about ratio? Okay, if you see 5, 7, 13, yes, it is there, 5, 7 and 13, you can come up with this answer also, right? So you can say 273. Okay, so let us have to make it 5. What should we do? Okay, we should divide it by how much? 130 divided by 5, correct? So 130 divided by 5 is how much, students? 130 divided by 5 is 20 and 26, right? So 26. Let us divide this by 26. Do I get 7? No, I get more than 7. So this is gone. So do I get this should be 26. 26 should be more than this, so this is also gone. Let us take this 10. So if I take this 10, if I divide this by 13, only then I'll get 10, is it not? So let us divide it by 13. 13 will come as 10, okay, and 273 by 13 will exactly come as 21, okay. 338 by 13 will exactly come as 26. So that is the answer. That's how you have to go, students. Okay. So it is not just answers, it's how you handle pressure also matters. Okay. And you have calculated. It is not like your CAT where you have to do everything from your mind. Okay. This on your hands. Okay. Here this has to be done using your calculator. So it becomes easier. Okay. Fine. Now let us do this, students. A huge pile of apples, oranges, both ripe and unripe mixed together. 15% are unripe fruits. Of the unripe fruits, 45% are apples. Of the ripe ones, 66% are oranges. If the pile contains total of so many fruits, how many are apples? Yes, 25 minutes for you. Next we will go with vocabulary and then we will stop. Okay. I think one more question I have. Yes, 2 questions I have. Let us solve that, then we will go a bit of vocabulary and then we will stop the class. Every time it will be like this only, students. Okay. One class where I will pick up a particular topic questions and we will solve. Okay. And we will solve, not me. You will also solve it. Okay. So we have time 27. Okay. So I will wait till 27 plus 5. Okay, 32. So when it is 32, I will solve. And let me tell you, excellence comes in a relaxed manner. It doesn't come when you rush into the answers. Okay. Yeah, student, got the answer? Still, yeah, still 1 minute remaining. I'm sorry. Don't worry about being slow. The speed comes by solving similar questions again and again, students. At the initial, it will take time, always. Don't feel bad that you are taking more time. Okay. I will give you a list of questions. I am making a list of that. Okay. Not now, as time goes off. Okay. Another 1 or 2 months, I'll give you a list of questions in different type of topics. Okay. So when you do more and more practice, only then you will become strong. Okay. Always put in terms of equations, students. That time the things will be easier. One minute more.
Sir, D.
Wrong answer.
Is D the answer?
D is the wrong answer. D is not the answer. Sorry. Check where you made mistake. You've got proper 3577422.
Oh, no, sir.
No, it's not the answer. Let us do. I'll give you a hint. Okay. So here apples, okay, are either unripe or ripe. Okay. Oranges are either unripe or ripe. Correct? These are the two cases. And unripe plus ripe makes the total. Correct? So what is the unripe percentage? It is 15%, right? 0.15 of total. Correct? So 0.15 total, 0.85 total makes the total. Correct, students? Clear? Now, of the unripe ones, okay, of the unripe fruits, 45% are the apples. Correct? So unripe one, apples are unripe apples. If I say apples unripe is what is 45% of the 15% are unripe fruits. Of the unripe fruits, 45% are apples. That means unripe apples are 0.45 into 0.15 of the total number of apples. Fine. Next, of the ripe ones, 45% are oranges. What we want? We want apples. So we will have apples only. So apples which are ripe is what is the percentage? 0.34%, because 66% is that of the oranges, 34% is of the apples, into what is the percentage of ripe ones? 0.85 of the total. Correct? So the total apples are when you add these two. Correct? So the total is 0.45 into 0.15 plus 0.34 into 0.85 into the total number. Total number is given as this. Tell me what is the answer you get, students. What is the number of apples? Simple. Easy. Once the answer is known, it's easy, is it not? Until the answer is not known, it's difficult. More and more problems we have to solve. Then only we will get the depth.
Sir, we are getting A.
Correct. You will get exact that number, is it not, students?
Sir, I did my way. Like I don't know where did I go wrong.
Hmm.
So should I tell how I did?
Please tell that. That is how you have to
Yeah,
do it. Yes, yes.
like in a huge pile of apples and orange, both ripe and unripe are mixed, right? So that is this number 569 to the to triple zero.
Correct, correct.
Okay, so
You should.
15% are unripe.
Correct.
So I took the 15% of it. So I got it 852300.
Eight
Okay,
five two three double zero. Fine. Okay. These are
okay,
unripe. Okay.
unripe.
Unripe.
So of the unripe, 45% are apples. So I took 45% of that.
Correct. Very correct. 45%
So I
apples.
got 383535.
383535. Correct. Okay. So
Okay, so those are the count of apples, right?
these are unripe apples.
Okay, okay.
Then the ripe
Unripe
ones.
apples. Okay.
Yes.
Of the ripe ones, so the I got 852300 unripe, right? So I subtracted it from the total number, so I got the ripe number of fruits.
Correct. Very correct. That's correct. So
Uh,
what you did,
then I
you
took
got.
60.
Let me put it again. This way the number of unripe ones. Correct.
Unripe ones, yeah.
From you subtracted this unripe from the total, right?
Total
Total
number,
minus
yeah.
unripe. Yes. Very good. Okay. Fine. Then
Yeah, I got some answer.
fine.
I got 4839700.
9700. Correct. Okay. Fine.
Uh, so out of that 66% are oranges. So I took 66% of that
Hmm.
and subtracted it from the total. So I'll get apples.
No, you should not have subtracted from the total.
No, no,
Okay.
subtracted it from this.
This number.
4839. Yeah, yeah.
Fine.
Subtracted it
Very
from
good.
that.
Very good. Very good. Yes. So that's correct. Okay. So you subtracted that. What is the answer you got?
I'm getting 3577422. Don't know where I went wrong.
No, we will do it. Don't worry. Okay. Let me do as you say. Let us do it. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Let us do it. So wherever we have done a mistake, we will try to find it out. Okay. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. So you should be able to know what is the mistake we are doing. Is it not? Yeah. Tell me now. What is that you did? Again, you tell me. I'm sorry. My memory is.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so 1 second. Oh, no, sir. I got it.
It's correct.
I got the right answer. I got it. Yeah.
The method you have said is right only. You might have done some mistakes
Got
over
it.
there. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, answer.
Now, next one. A person divided an amount of 100,000 into two parts and invested it in two different schemes. If one he got 10% profit, in the other he got 12%. If the profit percentage were interchanged with his investment, he would have got 120 less. Find the ratio between his investment in two schemes. Let me tell you students, when I solved this question, I took more than 10 minutes to solve this question. Okay, so you may come faster than me, that's a different case. Because I also need practice, students. It's not that I will be able to do it, don't worry. And there are cases where I take more time, you will take less time, probably. But in GATE you have only 4 to 5 minutes. If you're not able to solve, you have to leave it. Go forward. Yes, students. So now let us say, I'll give you a hint, okay. So x plus y, the total dividends, okay, he has invested, okay, is 100,000. Fine. Okay. Now he cut it into two parts, is it not, students? What did he do? He said, first of all, he said 1.1 into x plus 1.12 into y was some z which we do not know. What is the profit? We do not know. Okay. So that is some things added with 100,000, correct? Another side. Now had this been interchanged, then this would be 1.12 x plus 1.1 y would be equal to z minus 120. Okay. Now it is about solving these two equations. That's it. Two equations, two unknowns, correct? You can solve it. One unknown gets cancelled, students. Z gets cancelled. Okay.
Sir, is it 1.1 or 0.1?
1.1.
And
1.1, because when you add up, what is that? 10% profit means what? If you had attempted say 50%, he would get 10% means what? 55, is it not? It will become 55.
yes, yes.
Correct. So it will be 1.1 times, is it not?
Uh,
That's how it is. I had done a silly mistake here, that's why I was taking more time. Okay. In GATE this happens. We do a small silly mistakes and then we struggle. So it's important to keep the mindset proper. Okay. So that comes in 20% of the marks, which is for maintaining the pressure, handling the emotions. There are cases when we go blank, students, when we have this high number of amount of information we have to get. Okay, it has to flow. Actually, the people who get high rank students, their information flows like anything. That is the amount of practice they have done. Just like you see a person who has gone with music, for example. Music is the best example here. For example, take Zakir Hussain. Okay, Zakir Hussain plays the tabla, is it not? And you know the amount of mathematics it is there in that. Everything has certain amount of ways in which it has to be done. It cannot be done just like that. It cannot be played just like that. And according to music, there is steps in which it has to be played. Now a novice who is coming, he cannot play. Why? Because that is not internalized. Similar way, whatever gate you are doing, if you just think that you will practice the formulas and go and write, you just read the formulas and go and write, you will not do it, students. You have to practice that. Okay, and with that practice, just like music flows, your answers flows. Okay, so that amount of practice, if you are able to finish off by the amount your gate comes, I'll tell you, nobody can stop you from scoring the top ranks in gate. Okay, so it's all about practice. Okay, and once you are in that mode, let me tell you, you will flow, students, and there is no pressure there. Okay, the pressure comes when you are not able to solve. When you start solving things, when you get that knack of doing things, and at that time I'll tell you, you will tell me, sir, give me more solution, what you say, the problems to solve. Give me more mock tests, you will ask me. Okay, sir, in this topic, can you give me more questions to solve? This is what we got from my toppers till now. Okay, till now, whichever toppers are there, they used to tell me this. Sir, give me mock test. They used to ask me for the mock tests. Okay, so that kind of flow, whenever that comes, I know that this student will do well. Okay, and I have to tune him. Okay, yeah, so that he will not have pressure at the end. Okay, yeah. Got the answer, students? Next we have vocabulary. We will go for few minutes, 10 minutes we have. Got the answer, students? simple students, you have to solve it this way. Okay, so you can add this up. When you add this up, you will see that add or subtract, anything you can do. You will see that this reduces to, say, x minus y. Okay, x minus y, or this, when you subtract from this, let me put it like this. Okay, let us subtract this. Let us put it minus, this minus, okay, and this is plus, and then we will add it. Okay, this is minus. When we do that, what we will get is, we will get this minus this, so 0.02 x plus here this minus this, is it not? So minus 0.02 y is equal to this minus this, so it is minus 120, correct? So this, when you do it, you will get x minus y is equal to minus 6000. You can solve this and see, students, correct? 0.02 by 120, you will get around 6000. So you have this equation 1 and this equation 2. Okay, subtract it, solve these two, and you will get x and y, students. Don't worry about being slow. Don't worry, students. I've told you, I also took time. Okay, let us have fun for next 10 minutes once you solve this problem, because vocabulary is real fun. Okay, I like it. Today we will have still more fun. Okay, this is like relaxing type of class. Okay, but very important. Okay, you know, I follow Norman Lewis. I have used it so much that it has come into 2 pieces now. Okay, I have no 1 piece of Norman Lewis. Yes, students, got the answer? Okay, if you feel it difficult, see, it depends on how I judge you. Okay, because in the class I can go to the any level. I have promised you, students, that if you feel it difficult, we can go to any. We will solve equations first of all. Okay, we will start from simultaneous equations. We will do some problems on simultaneous equation next class, students. Okay, and we will do it fast. Simple things fast. Just like you have seen that you say there is a Hollywood movie called Karate Kid. You know what he does? He takes a coat that Jackie Chan takes the coat and puts it over the hanger, and that's what he has to do for the whole day. Is it not? So the similar things we will do. That time we will get practice. That time we will get excellent, students. Okay. Don't worry that it is small thing to being done. Because don't worry that we are just solving simultaneous equations which has been done in 10th standard. No, that will build up. Okay. Or I did say simple say lines and points and all those things. Why I am doing that? Because excellence comes from simple things. Okay. If you are good in simple things, the rest of the things will come to you. Okay. And it is not about information. Okay, I was reading that new education policy. Okay, in that new education policy, it was saying we have to come out of rote learning, correct? And we have information. Now we have to be cautious that it is not just rote learning we have to get, but we have to go with the skill development. Okay. Now rote learning is different, skill development is different. Now if the it is a mathematics especially has to be practiced. It is not rote learning. Okay, you don't think that I am doing this again and again is rote learning. No, it's not. Okay, so that skill development comes by doing small things again and again. Okay, so you have to differentiate between that. Okay, whatever we are doing, 10th standard mathematics, we are doing it again and again. We are it is in our tongue tips, the questions we can do it in our minds. Okay, that kind of skills has to be there. Okay, understanding plus skills together will make you a strong person. Okay, just like see ITI person, okay, who is just doing fitting job or a welding job, a welding ITI, you see the excellence they are having. Okay, I went to one of the very good ITI here in Mangalore, Hebik ITI. Okay, so I used to see the amount of discipline they used to have, and because of the discipline, the quality of the products they were producing. Okay, I think we engineers have to learn from this ITI. Okay, ITI 10th standard pass out students who come to ITI and learn those trades. This is called trades, okay? And discipline, if we get into our engineering, okay, I'll tell you, we can do wonders, students, okay? So we will go with that mindset, okay? Yeah, got the answer, students? Whatever we have learned
D.
till now, yes, what is it?
D.
D, very good. So, okay, now we will go to with some fun, okay? The fun is like this. Last class, we saw about left hand and right hand, is it not? So we will build vocabulary. So we saw about ego. Without ego, anything can happen, is it not? So the person who is talking about himself is a egotist. We saw that, okay? The person who is worried only about him is egoist. Okay, we have seen this, okay? So ego is one thing. Another one is how you turn, correct? What happens is how you turn is important, okay? So the word which we have is verto. So how you turn? If you turn inside, then you are an introvert. This we saw last time, okay? If you turn outside, you are an extrovert. If you turn sometimes inside and outside, then you are an ambivert. You know what you mean by introvert? The person who is up to himself. He's not worried about others. Extrovert, he goes partying and all those things. That's an extrovert. Ambivert, sometimes he wants to stay alone. A normal person is an ambivert, you can say. Okay. Another point. Next, how good you are. We used a word called dexter. Dexter in Latin means right hand. Okay. And it is used, dexter word is used with say being good, okay, or being the word what I have to say is not getting the word, okay, I have to see the word is being skillful. Yeah, this is important, skillful, okay? So with the right hand you are skillful. So the person who is dexterous, see, you see the words we are building, from the roots we are building, students. The person who is dexterous is skillful, means he is using the right hand. If he is ambidextrous, that means he can work with both hands. A person who can work with both hands. Both hands. Okay, like this we will build. So all these things you have to go to the dictionary and see it again, students. I am just introducing you to these words, okay? Because when you go with the root words, you can understand that, okay? That is one side and the side. So this is right hand, this is the root which is right hand. For left hand, what is the root? Left hand root is sinister, okay? Sinister. Sinister is the root for left hand. Now the person is sinister in, this is in Latin. Latin root. Sinister means left hand. Now the person in English, if I take, what do you mean by sinister in English? In English, sinister means, what does sinister mean? Sinister means threatening, evil, because we say left hand is evil, you know. I say all the whatever the cultures are there, it is the same, okay? You say Indian culture or European culture or anything, left hand is considered wrong, bad, is it not so? Okay, or dangerous, okay? This is what sinister, evil or dangerous. This is called sinister, okay? Now in case, see, from this only, from sinister only, there are a lot of other things which can come, we will see. In France, because you see our or French, if you take, okay, our English is a bastard language, you know. Know what is a bastard? It's a person who has more than one father, okay? So if you say French, so English has various fathers, okay? So if you say French, in French, if you say gauche, 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 okay, gauche means left hand. Gauche also means left hand. In English, a person who is gauche, okay, the person who is gauche is called a clumsy person. Is a clumsy person, not very what you say, socializing. Okay, might be he is good, but he'll come with the non-iron shirt or something like that. Okay, not very clumsy. Okay, not very just like nowadays some people will be there will have big hairs. Okay, and will not bath every day. For example, this kind of gosh. Okay, oh gosh, you say, no? That's a different case. That GOSH, that's a different case. Okay, but gosh means a clumsy person or dirty person. Okay, that's what is one. Go back. This gosh meaning, the words we have got is gosh, sinister, ambivert, extrovert, introvert, develop. Have a different book for developing word, students, because it's important. Another word we have is egomaniac. Maniac, a mad person about himself. Okay, that's an egomaniac. Okay, next root we will see is giant, or we can say, wait a minute, students. Okay, another with that only another point, French word for right hand, French word droit is called right hand. So you see we have Latin and French. Okay, right hand. So the person who is adroit means he is skillful. A person who is adroit, so this is another word, adroit. The person who is adroit is skillful. You see dexterous, this is equal to dexterous, not ambidextrous, dexterous, skillful. Okay, the person who is adroit is skillful. Okay, adroit noun form is adroitness. So all the noun forms you can see, and gauche noun form, gauche, GAUCHE, gauche noun form is gauchier. Okay, the noun form of gauche is gauchier, GAUCHERIE, gauchier. Okay, so this is about the words with left hand, right hand, and self. Okay, self, left hand, right hand, done. Okay, next we will go with, so if you have self, left hand, right hand, it's not enough, we have to marry sometimes, most of them. Okay, so most of them have to marry. Okay, so let us see that. Okay, the word for marriage, because youth, you know, they will get attracted to marriage, is it not? So the thing with marriage is called gamos. Okay, so if a person is polygamous, he means he marries a lot. Okay, lot of times. Okay, now if he is a misogamist, means he hates marriage. You see, same thing. If you consider this one, does a lot of marriage. Poly means many, miso means hate. Okay, so misogamist is the person who hates marriage. Okay, similar way, let us take another word. Okay, let us take anthropos. Anthropos means related to human. Okay, anthropos means human. Okay, the person who is misanthrope is a person who hates humans. The person who hates humans or mankind. He says man is responsible for everything. Okay, then if you say gyne, GYNE, it means women. Gyne means woman. Okay, the root, you see, gyne means woman, anthropos, human. Okay, so the person who is misogynist, recently very famous in all the misogynist, who hates women. Misogynist can be out of women also. Women can be misogynist also. Okay. So misogynist is the person who is hating women. Now here anthropos, if he is philanthropist, phil means like. Phil means like. Okay. If he is a philanthropist, spelling I will tell you, philanthropist. Philanthropist, thropist. Okay. What is a philanthropist? Philanthropist is a person who is trying to give a lot of things. Okay. Dani in Hindi or Kannada it is Dani, the person who gives a lot of dan. Okay. So philanthropist is who loves mankind, you see. So from the root we can make out some of the words. I hope you get it, students. So loves mankind, Jain, woman, misogynist. There is nothing called philogamist, okay, but there is another thing called so from gamos we have something called monogamous, polygamous, monogamous. He marries only once. Monogamous, okay, he marries only once. Okay. Then there is bigamy, marries two people. Bigamy, twice married. Okay. So these are all the things. Okay. Now if you consider here in the, see, from the root we are saying gyne, from gyne you have gynecologist, is it not? The person who is related to a doctor who is related to women's diseases or women's health is a gynecologist. From gyne it comes, correct? So similar way, monogamy is over, polygamy is over. Okay. Then for men it is andry, andros is for men. Okay. So if a woman marries more than one man, that is called polyandry, having more than one man as a husband. Okay, that is called polyandry. If you have more than one woman with you, then it is also called, it's rarely used, but still you have polygyny. Okay, with more than one woman he is there. Okay, so like that we have a lot of words coming from the basic, students. Okay. Next, another side. Okay. What is the time now? Can we go further? Another 5 minutes, students. It's very interesting. Okay. Another point. Okay. Now, if you consider the root word ascetes means a monk or hermit in Greek. Monks and hermits were very famous in Greek. You say Plato, Archimedes, Aristotle, everything, every person were there. Okay. So ascetic is coming from that word. Ascetic, okay, means a monk or hermit in English. You read this word, students. Okay, this is word, this is root. Okay. So you have to, a monk is a person who lives a lonely life. Correct. So the practice is called asceticism. Asceticism. Okay. Asceticism is the practice. Easy, students. Got the way? From the root we are trying to get a lot of things. Okay. Next, one more point we will get. Okay. Fine. That is enough, students, for today. Okay. From here you can go for other things. Okay. Next we will go still more. Okay. With a lot of things. In addition, we will go with grammar also in the next class. Okay. Thank you very much, students. We will stop the class here. Any doubts you can ask me, students.